Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our topic today, which is trust yourself. It's okay. Do you feel like things are out of control these days? Are you fearful and stressed out? Yes? Then this next 15 minutes is for you. I'm Miss Chrissy D with the PNK Files, preparing you for when life happens. And this is Darlene Turner with Victim to Victory. And together, we're the perspective.
Hi, everyone. So just do a quick review about last week. It was about the stomach and the spleen meridian, and they were about how we digest life and process our experiences, and how sometimes we can get stuck in those experiences and just really hard to move forward in our life. So I really recommend go back, listen to last week so that you can really get a handle on where we're going with everything today. And today it's about the kidney and the bladder meridians. And together they make the water element. And so when we think about the water element, it's 80% in our body, 80% over the earth. It's like a huge impact in our life and our environment. Are you going to talk?
Sorry. For those of you that don't know, I just got off an 80-hour work week, so I'm a little tired this morning. But yes, water's actually very important because it shows up in many ways, and it is actually controlled by our environment. So if you're in a place that's cold, it's going to be ice. If you're in a place where it's warm, then it's going to be steam. It's in the air. Like Darlene said, we can't see it all the time. Some skincares have what's called humectants in it, and that actually pulls the moisture right from the air and sends nutrients to your skin, which is it's our largest organ in our body.
Yeah, and that's just such an important point that our environment affects the water. Dr. Emoto did a bunch of experiments on this, and just using the words and the thoughts around hate or love, and programmed or put it on the water bottles and did experiments after freezing it. And it was amazing, the water crystal formation from the two different sides of that. I recommend go check it out. So let's talk about the kidney meridian. It's from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It is our stores our chi, our life force, our vitality lives here. Sorry, I'm just getting a crick in my throat here. So you can see on the picture Michael's showing you that it starts at the foot and then goes up, does a spin around the ankle, and then goes up the leg up to here. Excuse me. And so any of you, like I've been talking about how the meridian will affect feet, but I also want to say that if you've had an injury or maybe you've broken your ankle, then it actually can affect the meridian, and that energy normal flow that would happen gets compromised because of that scar tissue. So that's another thing to look at through massage, through working with the pressure points. You can help restore that flow in there. And then it comes up to just under the collarbones, and those are your K12s, I think they are. Anyway, they're huge energy center points in our body. And when we're tapping with our EFT tapping, then that's definitely one we're tapping on. So the kidney, it is the ruler of marrow, and it's the ruler of bones. It's the filter of our blood. It also filters our water. So our water comes from the digestive, and then it filters through. Is it going to purify and come up into the lungs, or does it get eliminated out through the bladder as waste? So when we think about that, it's like our thoughts as well. Are they thoughts that we can, purify and keep, or are they thoughts that just need to get rid of? Bringing it in that way. Physically, this can show up as edema down in the legs. Like I was saying, that block and that energy can show up with water buildup, stiff joints, hormone issues, physical energy, brain functioning. And another thing is just that growth and cellular development can get compromised when you have not a good functioning kidney meridian. A neat one that I saw here was gray hair and even hair loss. Sometimes with a shocking experience or an accident or something, some people just like almost go gray overnight. And I don't know how that happens. I can't explain it, but it's ruled here in this kidney meridian. So emotionally, it shows up as fear, phobias, adrenal fatigue, and the endocrine system. And then we're going to bring up the bladder meridian, which I got to get my picture here so I can follow along with you guys. And the bladder meridian is the ruler of the back. It is all the neck, the spine, the spinal column. It also is the ruler, well, not really ruler, but it's directly connected to the nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. And it's that level of adaptability, being able to release fear, calm the nervous system down. And when just wanted to say, like, the bladder is also part of control and release, right? So knowing when what we can control and what we can't control, and being able to find our balance within that. So also it is living in the past, confidence, there's confusion. I worked with seniors a lot, and that's one way to tell that they actually have bladder infection is their level of confusion and cognitive functioning. Emotionally, obviously, it's phobias again and holding grudges. So when we have harmony in this balanced in this meridian, they say it's an overall body harmony and health.
Interesting as I'm listening to all of those different signs in that. I pretty much have all of them, although I'm not admitting to the gray hair one. But all the other ones I can really relate to. And for people that know my story, I've been living in that fight or flight for quite a few years. And I have those symptoms, and I really have to watch it when I fall into that. I have to stop, I have to recognize it. And then I walk our talk. I really get grounded. I do the tapping. I do all the things to calm our nervous system. So it's really important that we recognize when we're in that state. We're not going to be making the proper decisions because we're coming from a place of emotional and being fearful. So we really have to stop, get connected again, and get grounded, because I can relate to all of those symptoms.
Absolutely. And I guarantee
except the gray hair.
If you're in fear, you're definitely not grounded. And I just want to say this is a hugely important subject right now, because the whole world on a global scale is in a state of fear. And it doesn't matter really what choice or side of the fence or way you want to experience what we're all going through. It is a state of fear, and it's a fear of, because our nervous system is attached to our senses, our sight, our smell, and that. Well, this experience that we're all in, it's like invisible. It's not something that we can actually see, or it's not tangible. So it actually is created a state of fear of the air, any kind of solid stuff we touch. And so that's a whole new level to this fear, and being able to get out of that state. And part of that is what I'm trying to encourage is everybody to drop, like Chrissy says, to get grounded, drop into your heart and listen to your own guidance, instead of exactly what's all out there and all the different subjects and opinions and everything. What's true for you? What does your inside instincts tell you? And that it's transforming our instinct from fight or flight into conscious thought. So it's like we're saying, if you're actually in fight or flight, then you're in reaction and not in action, and being able to take those steps that's right for you and move forward. Now, I just want to connect the dots again, because we're talking about fear, and then we're talking about the kidney and the bladders and the body issues. Excuse me. So one thing about being in the state of fear is your immunity gets stuck down, because all of your organs and systems are being compromised. They're not fully functioning, and that causes the immunity to go down. And then when we're hyper focused into something that we're fearing, like we talked about, our kind of thoughts bring in what we're creating, then it becomes even bigger in our life and more of a probability. So this inflammation, bringing it into the body, you have those stiff joints, it's hard, slow moving. The kidneys, bringing in the bones, the marrow. So connecting all the dots, it's being able to filter and purify our thoughts. What thoughts do we want to keep? What's creating something good in our life? And having that respect for others and their own choices as well is hugely important. And doing what's right for you. I know for me, I had an experience about a year ago, sort of wrapped around this big experience that we're all going through, and really looking at what was I afraid of within that. I was experiencing something with a loved one, and I realized it was a fear of death. And when I had given my power over and was in a state of that fear around death, I felt powerless and hopeless. And so I had to really dive into that. What is it about death that would make me afraid? And I had a pretty good concept of what I thought about death. But what I did is I went into near death experiences of other people and really dived into see it from a new perspective and to take my power back around that. Because, sort of it's like, I was afraid to live for fear of the ending of the story here, right? And so, really bringing in life to the fullest and wanting to live everything to the full maximum that we could live.
And that brings us, I think, to our tips.
Yep.
First one, facing that fear.
Yeah. What is your worst case scenario? What is it that within your experience that makes you afraid? And find the root of that. Where is that? And look at it and see if you can gain a different perspective, and whatever way that may be, whether you talk to other people that have been through it, or just having a different perspective maybe on it, so that you can take back your power and not feel helpless or out of control around that.
Yeah, I go through that all the time. So when I find myself in that fearful position again, I have to look at it. I have to go, okay, why is this here? It's here because, and I want to defend it. It's here because that it happened. It's real. And so then I have to go back to, again, ground myself, and trust myself. I'm not in the same situation that I was in before. And although I don't have control over the whole world, I can control that part of me that can handle this and that can do the right things so that doesn't happen anymore.
Absolutely. It's almost like a reset where you're resetting, and okay, this is this now moment, not all these past experiences. And from this now moment, with that new file that we've created in all our shows that we talk about, I'm able to move forward with a new perspective or a new view.
Yes.
That's a powerful tool, and it is really coming right down into this moment. Is there something to be afraid of right here, right now, and calming your nervous system down from that place? And our second tip is about water programming and health vitality. So it's a simple thing, and all you need to do is write love on your bottle, or just hold your hands and set the intention that health, vitality, love, cellular growth, whatever that is that you want to put into your water, you can do that. And it's 80% of your body, all your cells have the water in it. So it's one way to affect the health of your overall body without having to do too much to it.
And it puts you in that positive place. When I first heard about this, for those of you that know I'm a skeptic, I thought, oh, that's real woo-woo, that's out there. But when I started doing it, what it does is it puts me in that positive place, which is always good.
It's empowering too. Yeah, you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not hopeless with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And tip number 3, we touched on it a little bit. Everybody, just remember to respect everybody. It's a hard time right now, and it doesn't, whatever side of the fence you're on in all of this, maybe instead of getting upset and thinking everybody's wrong, go back into yourself like we're talking about and find out, what's that button? What's that file? Why are you feeling that way? And then get grounded. Then do your breath work. Do all the things to calm your nervous system, so that when you're making a decision, you can come from that nice, calm place and not from an emotional place.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to add to that is just please don't bully people. It's been so many years that we've been teaching our kids not to bully each other in school just because one looks different or acts different and decides things a little bit different. Being able to just step back and not letting everybody have their experience, their opinion, their choices, and not needing it to be the exact same as our own.
Thank you. And remember, everybody, to check the links below, because there's always lots of information and places that you can go to get more information about these topics that we will have links to. And thanks, everybody, for joining us. Come and join us every Sunday for the new perspective on trauma, abuse, chronic pain, and the steps to a healthy and thriving life. And we'll see you next Sunday.